If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Altar Call. I'm your host Tane, here to talk about this week's episode of reality show Ramble. Gonna talk about a couple of shows today, but just wanted to remind you that you can check out any bonus episodes on patreon.com/altarcallmafs. Also check out my Love is Blind Germany recaps with Brian, my Traders recap with Jason. I had the first 3 episodes up there, and I'll be having guests through the week for the episodes. And yeah, I will also be covering Welcome to Amish. I'll be covering that with Brian every 2 weeks, so also look out for that. I thought that it's been a minute since we talked about MAFS, and I figured I would share some updates from past MAFS participants and see what is going on in that world this week. So I'll start with the fact that Eric from the Atlanta season and his wife had their baby. If you recall, they had gone through some pregnancy loss, and she got pregnant and he announced the pregnancy, and his baby Vera Isabel Lake was born on January 3rd, 2026. So congratulations to them. In more baby news, Nicole and Chris finally had their twins. As you may know, they were having a boy and a girl, and their baby boy had to have surgery and he's still in the NICU, but the babies' names are Sophia Lily and Anthony Ramsey. So congratulations to them as well. In that same vein of good news, Brett from the Houston season got married on New Year's Eve. Congratulations to her. And Madison from the last season where we had her and her find love with David, she shared her journey on freezing her eggs. So that's going on, and she's just planning for her future with David. So good luck to her. And I know I said last season, I think I meant Chicago season, not the last season in Austin. It's the Chicago season. Speaking of the Chicago season, Ikechi always has time to clap back at anybody who says anything funny to him. But this time wasn't really like a clap back, but someone asked, I think he was answering the question of the pettiest reason that he's broken up with someone. And he was like, adult gums and baby teeth. And I'm like, this guy. Yeah, I forgot to mention also that his ex-wife, who he was paired up on the show, also had her baby shower. She is having a baby girl, baby Amara. And yes, it is still with Brandon, who we saw their story develop on the show. Not who she was matched with, but in the after show, we saw them get together, get proposed to, and have like a love commitment ceremony. So yes, she's also expecting her baby. Josh from the last season now in Austin, he hasn't really spoken much. I know he did a few podcasts, but he did put out a post, a very lengthy post on Instagram. He did go to Brazil, I believe he said, after the show. The summary of what he was saying is that after filming, that he was saying that he just felt like he never truly felt seen by Jaylene, but he thought he was the best partner he could be. He did everything that she wanted, and she's always said that Austin is her bubble. Like she went to cycling, went to the bars that she wanted, and that created a rut I think he's implying that maybe he likes to travel and expand his world, and she just wants to stay in her comfort zone, and that created a rut. He says producers focused on Burning Man, but he's much more than that. That what they don't show is that he put her on his insurance 2 days before an accident that would have cost her so much. He helped her credit score by putting her on his credit, but somehow doing all these things, he still came up short. And something also that people don't know is that she tried to leave him twice and he fought for their marriage and she did not. But right now he's happy. He has a woman who sees him and chooses him every day and all of that. This will always be a he said, she said, but I think two things for me is like, I do believe this is his truth. It felt like she did try to do the things that he wanted. When you don't feel seen, I don't know. You know how when someone can say something and it's almost like how someone says something and how you interpret it. Sometimes they match, but sometimes it's just different. Like someone means something one way and then you interpret it a different way. I feel like that is maybe the case of him feeling like yes, she's doing the things, but they're not the things she wants to do at her core. So it's not enough for him. So even him saying that, despite him doing all these things, he wasn't enough for her. The same could be said that she could be doing all the things outside her comfort zone that she didn't want to do, but it still wasn't enough for him. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it seems like they were incompatible and they're not together. And it's just, I don't know, a little cringy when you say, "Oh, I put you on my insurance. Oh, I helped your credit. Oh, I did these things." It's just calling it out. I don't know. I know he's trying to make his point, but it's like, what's the point, at this point? So, but again, they're not together. They're separated, and I hope they both find their happiness separately. But I will add that Rhonda did comment on his post and said that she is feeling what he is feeling, but they did the show, they've learned, and that's more important than what was aired. So there's that. Finally, Jamie from Jamie and Doug, she is launching Hendra Lux Beauty. Hendra Lux is a combination of all her kids' names, and the concept of it is, I think she did do a post that was talking about how she used to get herself ready, but by the time she had a baby, she just kind of let herself go. And when she tried to learn how to do makeup, it was just a lot for her. All the influencers will have like this makeup brush, that product, this product. So the whole idea of it, I think they're products, but also to help you, like a simple 5-minute makeup routine, to help her get herself together and to help other women out there. So if you do want to support her, I think the account is Hendra Lux, HendraLux Beauty. So you can find her on Instagram. So that's a few updates. I'm sure a lot of things happen, but there's a few that I caught that is going on in MAFS. Okay, the big news that I'm going to start with. Oh, wait, I did not tell you about my award show movies. This week, I watched Marty Supreme. It's a Josh Safdie movie, which, if you watched Uncut Gems, it's just too much. There's just a lot that is happening that is so fast paced. It was just okay. Was Timothy Chalamet good? Yes, but should this be the movie that he's winning for and probably win the Oscar for? No, not in my opinion. I feel like he's done better, but they have decided that this is what he's going to win for. So that's that. But yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you can watch it, but it's basically an entitled, what they might call confident person, ping pong player, just going around, traveling around and going to different scenarios, getting to do what he wants, how he wants it, because he has the audacity and what they call the confidence. So yes, that's my movie that I caught up with. So hopefully I will try to see more in the coming week. Okay, back to reality TV. The big news is that Nene is coming back to Bravo. The Bravo verse was in heaven, was happy. We prayed for times like this. I think I've talked about this before in one of my rambles, that it's almost like I'm glad she's back. Let's just see what Nene is today. We knew what Nene was then. What is she today? She's lived many lives. Like, a lot has happened to her since the last time that she was in TV. A lot has changed in the world, in the TV landscape. So it looks like Bravo is in a phase where they're just bringing back old people. Nene is reality show Bravo legend. So I don't think she's lost it by any means. So it's just going to be interesting to see how it'll be when she comes back. She's going to be coming back to, it's like a Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, like the 20 years, I guess, of Housewives. So it's called Roaring 20th, but that's the working title. It might not be the final title. So what's happening is like they have a bunch of OGs that are going to be going on a road trip, and there'll be appearances by dozens of additional housewives, and they'll have stops in Orange County, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, Miami, and New York City. And they'll just be meeting up with familiar faces in different ways, and we'll see what happens. So I guess maybe even people that were former housewives, maybe that'll happen. I don't know what the scope is, how many people they're looking at. Are they really going to be driving around or flying around? I don't know, but that's the idea of the show that was told to us. So the original core cast, when they're talking about the OGs, it's going to be Vicky Gunvalson from the OC, Countess Luann from New York City, Portia from Atlanta, Teresa Judice from Jersey, Kyle from Beverly Hills, Giselle from Potomac, and Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City. Um, Choices. I mean, yeah, it's OGs. I think I'm not so invested in who they're going to pick. Like it's fine, whoever it is. I think my only thing is, why no Miami representation? I know some people have been saying maybe they're shooting at the same time, but I don't know. Things could be worked out because no other show is shooting at the same time. I don't know. Like Salt Lake is not, Potomac is not. I don't know if I'm buying that. I just don't understand why they couldn't get one person. And even if they did, why not get an OG? Well, maybe Leah Black wants nothing to do with that, but she's an OG. Joanna Cooper is an OG. Like, I don't know, get somebody that's not there that might be interested in doing this, but maybe they want people who are still involved in the show. But yeah, I wondered about that. And also from Salt Lake City, that's very interesting. Listen, I'm not a Heather fan, but I actually thought they would pick Heather, but I guess Lisa Barlow makes sense. I take that back. I'm thinking as I speak. Like it makes sense to have Lisa Barlow. It is not going to be Whitney. It is not going to be Meredith. And Mary is not going to sit in a car for this long and endure all of this. Angie is not an OG. And so I think it was just between Lisa and Heather. So I don't know. Maybe Heather would say she's intimidated and just happy to be invited, but Lisa feels like she belongs. So maybe she is the better choice to be on there. Yeah, so that's who Nene will be joining for that, and we will see how that goes. They have had great success with the Ultimate Girls Trip. I've enjoyed everyone that they had on Peacock. It's been a minute since we had one, so we'll see. We'll see what that happens. But congrats to Nene. She did have an official post because the rumors were swirling, and then she officially said she's coming back. And then she actually thanked Andy, and Andy actually commented and was like, there was no way we are going to celebrate the 20th without you. And Nene responded to say, regardless of everything, no matter what, I still love you. And she did specifically thank Portia and Phaedra for keeping her name out there in the universe. So ultimately, I mean, I think it has to be, the goal has to be that she comes back to Atlanta, I believe. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, it's a reality now. And she's coming back. 2026, looking up. All right, let's talk about what did I watch this week? Vanderpump Rules. You see this show. This show is not having the buzz that, I don't know, maybe they expected. And I don't even know what the problem is because honestly, it has all of the ingredients. It has all the drama. It has all the things that would make a show successful. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't, it has all the things, but something is missing and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the fact that it will always have the cloud of being compared and they just can't get over it. But what else could they have made this show be? There's already Southern Hospitality, which is kind of the same. There's nothing else or other premise that could have made it be. So I just don't know what's not clicking, but they sure do have some characters. For example, Angelica, I was looking at her, that girl is so gorgeous. And I'm like, okay, this is a breath of fresh air. She's not as annoying. I don't know how she turned things around, but Angelica is very, very annoying right now. Um, she goes on a date with one of the cousins and he takes her on a jujitsu date. I don't It's not a terrible idea the way he sold it. They both have an interest in it and they do that. But to actually go 100% and slam her on the floor how many times to the point where her back hurts? Does her back hurt? Yes. I don't know if it hurts as bad as it is, but where she says it every 5 minutes. But this whole thing and then going on and on at the event about seeing a penis pump that who was it, her friend told her about, Audrey told her about. It was just weird. She just couldn't stop herself. She's telling Lisa Vanderpump, she's telling everyone we're taking a picture. She's saying, say penis pump. And I'm like, what is happening, right now? And then just using the buzzwords when she's actually talking to him and she's like, you're gaslighting me. Like she just wants attention and she's just annoying. Like she's mad at him that he's talking to other people, but she's still sleeping with her ex and still living with her ex. So I don't understand what the problem is. And then hopping from him to Shane, his very good friend, maybe that's what that generation is, just the attention. She just wants any attention, good or bad, and it's fine. But speaking of Shane, now Shane is the man who is not working with them in any of the establishments, but is very, very open and has all the material. Like he just talks about he's a player. I think the thing that stuck out to me this week is how many times, how many variations Shane says, my guy. He says that all the time when he sees any of the guys. It's like, my guy, hey, bro, hey, broski. They're just all different variations of that. But Shane has mentioned before that he was shot many times. He has a tattoo of band-aids everywhere that he was shot. And then we find out more and more information that he says casually, because when they were talking about the penis pump, he was like, what is the big deal? Like, I mean, I got shot and I have erectile dysfunction, so I have to take Viagra before I have sex. And I'm like, okay. And then he also talks about being sober. It's really admirable. Like, when you are in a family, I think he said he was introduced to crack by a family member. And that is crazy. I don't want to misquote his age. I think he said he was 9 or something, but he was young the first time he was introduced to it. And, he has family members that are still struggling with substance abuse. And, this comes up because his dad is in town. And when is going to pick up his dad, is the first time that he thinks about, picking up alcohol. And him sharing that with Marcus, and it was just a really vulnerable moment. And it's just, wow, Shane, he has overcome a lot, and I hope he continues to stay on track with his sobriety journey. Did anyone notice how he held his pencil? Because he's a screenwriter too, and he held his pencil funny, like full grip. But yeah, Shane has material, and Shane likes Angelica now, and Shane is a player because people are visiting him in his house. So I don't know. Marcus wants to be a DJ. Everyone wants to be a DJ. Meredith Marks is here jumping every second, so everyone wants to be a DJ. So why not Marcus? His relationship with Kim is terrible. It's just so toxic. I don't know why they're together or why they think they have to be together, but it's just horrible. I really like Audrey. I like what she has going with, I think it's Chris. I hope it blossoms into something. It seems like he's ready to settle down, and she just seems like she has a good head on her shoulders and she can hold her own. So, all in all, like I said, I am enjoying Vanderpump Rules. It still doesn't feel like appointment TV, but I don't know. What do you guys think about the show? What do you think is missing from this show? Okay, moving on to Southern Charm. Southern Charm is trucking along. Southern Charm is now the Austin and Craig show. Single Craig is out to play and he's a terror because Craig has never been able to control his emotions. He's just always yelling or reacting to something. He's just never even keel. I know he wants to be, but he just isn't, even keel. Speaking of Craig, Sally and Venita, I don't know what's going on with Venita in this show, but it's just cringy every time I see her in the show. It's like, I don't know. They don't know what to do with her. Venita doesn't know what to do on the show because of how she is being edited. I still can't forgive them for the fact that she was dating someone who's like, his career is like in Broadway, and he booked a show, and it seems like they broke up because he moved to New York for a show, and none of that was shown. Like they filmed it, there was footage because they showed it to us in a flashback, but they just didn't show that as a storyline. That's kind of crazy to me. So Vanita is needs to also stop trusting people, because I don't know how you go from JT being your best friend and then now Sally's your best friends, but all these people treat you like shit. Like at this point, like we need to figure it out and get it together. Trying to also tell a grown person that, oh, you can't date someone, he's gonna walk you like a dog on a leash, he's gonna use you, he's gonna it doesn't matter. Once a girl is in love, or once a girl has her sights on that, she's not going to listen. She's going to do what she wants to do. So whatever Vanita was trying to do, especially for Sally, wasn't gonna work. And Sally is worrisome. Like, you cannot be that much boy crazy that you're now acting weird. Getting a chicken coop because Craig said that he will go with you to pick out chickens is insane. She is 30 years old, guys. I had to double check that because, like, maybe if she's like 22, like, okay, she's still young. Her frontal lobe hasn't developed, but it kind of has. And she's still doing that because I'm seeing her drilling. And I'm glad her friend asked, like, why did you want to get chickens? Because Craig would go with me. That's all it takes. Like, look at your life. He's picking chickens with you, but he's asking Charlie to go on the water to eat oysters. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what I even wish for Charlie, but I don't know why Charlie's so scared of her. Like, you're grown. You can make a decision, but Charlie always seems like she's on edge. She always seems like she's anxious or nervous about something, but she really does seem scared of Sally. So I don't know. She needs to choose. Do you want Craig or do you want Sally? Because if you're excited about Craig but scared to tell Sally, then decide who means more to you and move on. And let's do something about that. I don't know. I just don't like her scene on edge and she's telling her mom, and her mom is like, you have nothing to be scared of. Like, do what you want to do. Both of them seem like drama to me. You go with Craig, you go with Sally. Either way, you have drama coming your way. Um Sally put those chicken boxes on her kitchen countertop. Ugh. That's gross. I hope she wiped it down. So there's that. Madison. She's still pregnant while they were filming this show. I have to admit, there's some relationships that, I don't quite buy into. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, maybe it's not actually, real. Maybe it's a PR relationship. I felt that way about, Taylor Swift and Mr. Kelsey. I didn't really believe it was real. The same thing with Kylie and Timothy, but apparently there are real relationships. Same thing with Tiana and Aaron Pierre. I didn't think they were real, but who knows? I mean, I don't know these people, but I'm not gonna lie. I say all this to say that it took me a while to buy into Madison and Brett's relationship. I just felt like she wasn't really into him the way that he was. Well, he doesn't really show emotions, and he was kind of like a safe option. And she was ready to settle down. And she's like, okay, he's a secure guy. Like, he's nice to my son, so why not? I'll just go ahead and do that. That was kind of the vibes that I was getting. But I don't know. They seem to have a routine. They seem to have their way, and, it's cute. It's good to see them in their house. It's good to see them expanding their family. And, when they're having that conversation, it was cute. So I think what I'm saying is I now buy into the relationship. Not like they needed my buying or anything. Whitner, the new cast member, because they just keep rotating cast members, aka Robin Thicke. I don't know. Every time I see him, he reminds me of Robin Thicke. He's not really adding anything to the show, but I do like him as part of the ensemble. You guys know what I think. Like, I don't think everyone has to be like a star player, a forward player, and just be in the forefront all the time. But I do like him in the mix. I liked his conversation with Austin, even though it's yet another avenue for Austin to shit on Craig. Like, I don't know how long Austin and Craig are going to do this will they, won't they situation, but it's annoying. Like, they're in competition about everything. Under the guise of, oh, I care about you, I want to call you out, but oh, you shouldn't do this, because the whole way that the whole Sally Charlie date thing came out it was just odd. Is Craig wrong? Yes, but I don't know that he's completely 1000% wrong. He was wrong because, yes, you did lead her on. If you're in a hot tub with a girl for like till 4 a.m. and you're just hanging out, and then you text her like, oh, she was like, oh, I should have stayed. And you're like, yeah, you should have stayed. What do you mean by should have stayed if it was 4 a.m.? You don't have to say that. Of course, you are leading her on. And then now you're switching up because you've realized that, okay, maybe that's not who you want. And you're saying like the only reason you hung out was because of Sally and, That's kind of messed up. Don't do that. But also, Austin, do you really care that much and just pushing it like, oh, she's a nice girl. Why would you say that? Why would you do that? And just gleefully sharing that information and then ramping it up. It's kind of like, ramping the situation. But they all said at the reunion that they're scared of Craig and maybe they just really find him annoying. And that's why it's the way it is. But they really need to stop competing and also stop dragging us in your shit. Because one minute they're fighting, next minute they're best friends and they're good again. The roller coaster is too much and there's no payoff for us. Okay. Um Whitney has been on the show. How many seasons has this show been on? I think this is in 11 or something. But every time Whitney comes on my screen, it's a jump scare. I'm never prepared for that. Uh, Miss Patricia and her butler, that was funny because what her butler is also a DJ, DJ Randy. Because I'm not lying, everybody wants to be a DJ, so that was funny that she's just keeping him around. I guess for the drinks, but nothing else. Everything else she doesn't expect him to do. She's never gonna find a butler like who she had before Michael. Okay, this dinner that she has, Miss Patricia don't care what anybody says. She tells us again, like, I enjoy having dinner with the guys. I am having dinner with a guy. I am male centered and I don't care. So she says it's more fun and she'll probably get more gossip from them. I don't understand the pop up of Dr. Steven. Is he a cast member? Did he just come up because I didn't see him in the episode after? He just showed up and I'm like, are we just randomly going to be like, yay, we know black people, let them come up? He is half Nigerian, half British. But I thought he was odd. I just when he was telling who was he telling Austin when Miss Patricia asked him about his girlfriend and he's just like we're I don't have any long-term plans right now and he's like that was a very nice way of saying no and I'm like okay you just got here like what are you saying. I don't know. I don't know him enough. He was only there for like 5 minutes but he seemed odd so I don't know if he's a cast member or not but we'll see. I didn't see him in the next episode. Oh, Lever made an appearance. I don't know. Is she in or is she out? Does she get paid for the appearance? I don't know. So, yeah, that's it for Southern Charm. Nothing really else major. Just that fight between Sally and Craig, even though Craig was not there. But Sally promised that if he was there, she would have slapped him. So we'll see how that unfolds with that. Okay. We had the first part of the reunion for Salt Lake City. I have my ups and downs with this show. Like, it has its good moments, it has its down moments, but Heather's really, really pissing me off because I just feel like she's being hypocritical. And it's just, I don't understand how none of her cast members or her coworkers, anytime she opens her mouth to say anything, don't just spit out black eye. Just say that to her because that will always be a low moment of Heather's where she handled that completely terribly, completely wrong. And if you're telling people to say things and to be honest, like we know how you handle that. So please don't go there. That being said, the finale with the Sisters of the Salt, that was so good. I just think that is such a great idea. And, telling people to just say what you want and then creating a play out of it. I thought that was so good. And I liked how, it's a great way to tell people what you're thinking without actually saying it to their face. So, yeah, that was happening. At the reunion, all season long, Whitney has been accusing Meredith of something, basically alluding to her being on something. So Whitney starting the reunion by bringing up her being so drunk in the at BravoCon was a choice. But Whitney says like that's so different. I was drunk in a happy drinking moment. Guys, what is a happy drinking moment? That is all I want. But this reunion as a whole was pretty annoying. It's annoying because the hypocrisy is too much. It's not the same level. Lisa is in a bubble. Lisa just keeps yelling at people. Why is Lisa getting the first chair anyways? Although I do kind of feel though that they're trying to devalue the first chair because the seating chart hasn't been making sense in the last couple of reunions where first chair used to mean like you were the, HBIC or you brought the most story and you're out there because I don't know. Angie in the last year is just bizarre. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, can't put Angie and Whitney in the same level. Like, why would we do that? But I mean, and she has to sit beside Brittany. So I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. But Lisa had first year. Actually, she would have first year, but it was Lisa and Bronwyn who had first year this season. But they're all yelling at each other. Like I said, they're all, "Are you tag teaming? Are you doing this?" And it's just annoying because they don't see each other's sides. I don't know if they want resolution. Um, they're going to get to a point where it's going to be in factions and they're going to be in groups and then it's going to be unbearable to watch. And I don't think they realize that they have something. They're the people that have the most cast members that, the original cast members that started from beginning. And people love Salt Lake City. So I don't know why you would want to, pull that apart and break that up, for what? For what are you bringing that up? But I don't know. When Andy asks who's changed the most, when Heather says that she's changed for the most, I'm like, I don't know. I hope she knows it's not for the better, but she does think it's for the better. But I do agree with Mary that I do think that she's the one that has changed the most. Like the Mary that we have today is definitely not the Mary that we met when it happened. One last thing on Heather, backtracking on the whole Captain Jason thing. This is why. This is why it's so hard to be on her side. How can you say like you were just joking and that when you said you guys were fucking around that it meant you were hanging out? You cannot do, you're an adult. That's not what it means. Like you can't just, put something out there and be coy and say, "What? That's how they took that." You cannot do that. Stop it. It's not cute. My goodness. But anyways, I don't know that we got anything so major out of that, but it has two more parts left, so we'll see what comes out of that. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is rocking. I mean, it's still there. Kyle is reminding me of Heavenly in every time she interacts with Dorit. And I think the thing is, like, she is on PK's side. There's nothing else. And Dorit made a good point. Dorit's like, if I say so, if you said something about Mo, I'm just going to be like, how dare he? Why would he do that? I'm not trying to make you see the other side. Who wants to hear about the other side? I do think that it's going to be very strange. This whole thing about tell Dorit. Dorit is going to tell Kyle to tell Mo to tell PK, and then they'll discuss the whole thing, and then they'll see that's way too many parties involved. And then, like we saw, Mo is saying like that's the opposite of what he's getting. Again, it's going to be a he said, she said. I don't know why we're involving all the people. And Kyle has already decided who she believes, so it's not going to be very helpful in that sense. The new girl, Amanda, she's annoying. I saw one episode at the lunch when she came in, and I was like, "Oh, she's different, but she's not that bad. She's not doing anything that is so terrible." But then I think by the time I saw the latest episode, I'm like, "Okay, she's doing the most." I don't know if it's that she's uncomfortable, or she feels like she doesn't fit in, and she has to not exaggerate, but just always talk about all the things. Who is it that clock that she likes to one up things? Like it gets old. And then also the whole stint of when they were in the car and she was on her cell phone talking about her business. Now that is very annoying. Like I rage when I see people at the gym, in public, just speaking on their speakerphone without any headphones. Now imagine being in close quarters in the car and you're just yapping away. No, that would drive me nuts. Like kudos to them for not saying anything and for keeping their composure. But yes, it's on a different level. Like she has to one up everything that they say, and I just don't understand where it is coming from. You know, Old Sutton is back. Yep. Old Sutton is back. Sutton Brown or Sutton Strack, I don't know, but she's not doing well. I think she was very, very nervous about coming into the season without Garcelle. I think she's always wanted their approval. She did mention how she feels like she's never fit in. And now she's just, I don't know why she's snapping at Tilly. My guess is that maybe she's snapping at her because maybe she never liked her. Maybe they just hung out because she was friends just because of Garcelle. Like the trio together was okay, but then alone, it's not a thing. Because originally, Tilly and Sutton. Tilly came in as Sutton's friend. So this behavior is very interesting because Sutton really wants the approval of the rest of the ladies. She definitely wants Kyle's and she wants Erica's. So I don't know why she's treating Tilly like this because I don't even know Tilly personally, but we know that she's usually like just, a jokey person. So she's joking with her. So why is she snapping at her? I don't know. I don't understand what's going on there. So the whole thing with Avi. So to say that Amanda came up with this story and is like, oh, someone said, tell me, I will tell you the whole real history on what happened with Avi, and Sutton doesn't want to talk about it. This is that hypocrisy that we're talking about again, because the whole thing with Kyle, the whole thing with Erica, Sutton was the one. That's how she got people on her side because she was the one person that was willing to stand up to Erica and she was asking questions. And if Erica had said, oh, I don't want to talk about it, that would have been a whole thing. Now, Amanda don't know this woman. Clearly, this is just part of the story, but they are filming a TV show. If she doesn't bring up things like that, nothing's gonna happen. They said it's a hot girl summer, but all they're doing is just they go to lunch, they change, they eat, nothing's happening. So this has to happen in some way or the other. So I'm not gonna be mad at Amanda for bringing that up. I know they kind of put it to bed, and Amanda just resurrected it again, and it's like, so I feel like you're mad at me about this, and she's like, she's not that she, called her Missy, but she's not. But at the end of the day, Sutton is her mother's child. So she is being passive aggressive when she thinks that she was mad at her for not coming to cook the chicken. She's like, it's a protein. Listen, I get it. If I was Amanda's coworker, I would be so annoyed by her because she's just one of those people that seems to be annoying. But again, she's doing what needs to be done. This is what Sutton did to Erica, and now it's happening to her. And why she doesn't want to talk about Avi? That's the other question. If it wasn't so terrible, why can't you just tell us? Props to Rachel. Shout out to Rachel. Rachel is the bright light on here. And it would have been interesting to see how Rachel and Garcelle would have gotten along and to see if maybe if they were on there, Sutton would have felt some type of way about the relationship. If they got along well, it would have just been interesting. But Rachel and Tilly are putting the fun in the season. And, Tilly telling or confiding in Kyle and saying, like, here's the thing about Sutton. Like, this is part of why I think Garcelle left. Everything is always about Sutton. And for Kyle to take it that way, you're the same one who got mad when you said you were confiding in Garcelle and she brought it up in a different kind of way. Like, come on. Like, don't go twist it. Like, every now and then, your friends will annoy you. And she was just telling you, like, she's making all about her. And, you can't keep snapping at me the whole time. I'll feel some type of way. Because in the preview, she's like telling her, like, as if she was saying it in a shady way. So, I don't know. I didn't like that. Completely forgot that Bose was on her IVF journey. So, we should know. Well, maybe she's keeping it to herself. But I was like, by now, if it had worked, I think we would have heard about it. But good luck to them on that journey. But yeah, nothing really. I mean, Erica has her boyfriend, but she's also not talking about it. So no one's talking about that. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to Dorit when she finds out that Erica told Kyle about her man. So I hope she knows where she stands when that happens. Is it just me or Bose and Dorit aren't as chummy as they were, or maybe they just haven't filmed scenes together, but it hasn't been the same way like it was last season. So we'll see. I think my final show is Sister Wives. God bless the producers for still getting material out of this because they're filming a tell all and they had part one with Sakinia at this time. And it's already squeezing water out of a stone for this show, but it took a while to actually get to the tell all. Like, why are you still showing us what they're up to? Because they're all in different locations now. Before we finally get to the tell all, we find out that Robin and Cody are still not sitting together. That really annoys me, really bugs me. We know we're not going to get all of them in the same room anymore. Why? I don't know. We see the housewives in the same room. Yeah, you're divorced, but you're still filming a show. Let everybody say what they have to say to each other, face to face, say it with your chest. But if we're not going to get that, we know that Robin and Cody are soulmates and they're going to be lovers forever in this world and in the next. Why don't they just sit together? What is the ruse? What are we doing? Just do that. I don't know. It just really bugs me. I need Sakina to stop with the icebreakers. There's no point. No one cares about their hidden talent. No one cares about what song or any. Stop it. Just get to the point and let's, get to whatever filler words we're going to be told. Because, especially if it comes with a video of Robin breakdancing, nobody asked for that. We didn't ask for that. We're already going through enough. We don't need that. Thank you. So, what did they talk about? They had they played the video of, I think, Mary and a Janelle talking about Robin, and Janelle poking fun and saying like his wife is, so submissive and is shy, and you could tell Robin was tight. That mouth was drawn in a line. She was so tight about that. Um, Mary's annoying because it was just fun. Was it a little mean? Yes. But was it a little fun? Yes, too. Um, but what was it that Cody called it? Girl games. And I like that. Was it Janelle or somebody else that said, okay, so when he talks about someone, is that girl games too? Or it's only girl games when, it's against Robin. But that is a good point. But Mary's annoying because, I think at some point she was like, I'm not gonna do that ex-wives club thing. I don't subscribe in the same values that they do. So Kenya, please ask what values. I want to know. Those are the kind of things I want to know. What values do you mean? What values do they possess that you do not want, that you do not participate in? But I don't know. Mary always tries to act like she's so, above it all or holier than thou. And I'm like, Mary, I mean, they were really cruel to you. There were moments, but at the end of the day, though, you were the one who kind of stepped out. You were not beyond, doing certain things. So miss me with that value talk. Um, Also, Cody did say that Robin was shy. So I don't know what the problem is. Cody has said that Robin is the only one who submits to him. That's why he loves her, because she does what he wants. So, but Janelle also put it great. Like, you can, what did she say? You can give power to get power or something like that. But Robin, 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 we can see through you no matter what you say. Um, Good to see Mary has someone with her. I mean, through all the years that she was kind of isolated, she does have her friend with her, and her friend is very outspoken. And then with her around, Mary seems to have she's more amped up with her around her in that. I'm here for David wanting to be part of this, wanting to support his wife, but I don't understand why he made the comment like, "Oh, I'm ready for the tell all this time, and I'm hoping that I get to speak because she always interjects." Why do you want to speak? Stay in the background. Like, this show was before you. You're here now, but I don't know that you're a part of the main storyline. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't even want to be. I'd want to collect a check, but I wouldn't want to be like in the forefront saying anything because, like I said before, I think I said that before that when Cody was on the apology tour and David was on there, um just sit there, like him trying to tell Cody to start with the children and go with the children. It's not your place. Like, no, don't say anything. Just let that be. um, I don't know. It's the same old things, guys. Robin thinks they're jealous of what they have. Cody's twisting words and they're disrespecting his beloved Robin. Mary with all the bark, no bite. And it's just kudos for them for keeping the show alive. There's still 3 more tell-alls to go. So we'll see if we learn anything new, but I highly doubt it. So, okay. That's it for this week. As always, let me know what show you would like me to talk about, and I will let you know what I am watching next week. So until then, bye guys.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.